Hey, what's going on, guys? So we've got a fresh hotfix for Gothic 1 Remake, and this one is mostly about cleaning up a bunch of annoying issues that were slipping through after the last patch. The big thing the devs wanted to fix right away was the audio side of things. Apparently, the previous release introduced sound problems on all platforms, so this one is basically a fast response to get that sorted out and make the game behave the way it should again. And yeah, it is not one of those updates that completely changes the game or adds a bunch of brand new content. This is more of a let's fix the stuff that is getting in the way kind of pass. The kind of patch that a lot of players probably will not notice in a dramatic way if everything is working fine for them. But for anyone who ran into bugs, this is the kind of thing that can make the whole experience feel way smoother. One of the more specific fixes here is that Milton should now show up properly in the lighthouse meeting. That is the sort of issue that sounds tiny until you actually hit it in your run and realize a quest or scene is just not playing out the way it is supposed to. They also fixed the bonus from the second ring, so it actually applies when it is equipped, which is one of those inventory and stat issues that can quietly mess with your build without you immediately realizing what is going on. Looting got some attention too. Quest items can now be taken from decomposed corpses again, including things like Varags and the pieces needed for the Ulumulu. That matters more than it sounds, because when the game decides to block progression through something that's simple, it can turn into a real headache fast. There are also a bunch of bigger stability fixes in here, including various crashes and progression blockers, plus dialogue blockers and more audio issues beyond the main sound problem. So even though this is a hot fix, it is clearly doing a lot of cleanup behind the scenes. And then there are the combat and gameplay fixes, which are the ones that really catch my eye, because those are the bugs players are going to notice in moment-to-moment play. For example, if you switch to another weapon right after firing a crossbow, the reload animation should no longer get skipped, and it should actually use the bolts properly. XP earning also got corrected in a few situations, like when you finish NPCs with magic or by pressing the F button, and when you kill an NPC with arrows or magic while they are downed. That kind of inconsistency can be super annoying because it makes it hard to trust what the game is actually doing in the background. They also fixed wearables so their tooltips show up again when you select them while equipping them. The nameless hero should not get stuck in sleeper dreams anymore if he gets knocked down during the transition, which is one of those weird edge case bugs that sounds almost impossible until it ruins your session. Seraphia's dance transition has been cleaned up too, so that animation should play correctly now. A few other fixes are really specific, but they matter. Animal trophies should now display properly as loot if you have not learned the harvesting skill yet. The bonuses from amulets and rings should stop staying active after you remove them. The equipped bow disappearing from the hero's back when certain spells are used has been dealt with. There was also a brief extra interaction prompt showing up after executing the Mad Demon, and that has been fixed as well. Quick save and quick load should keep working even while you are remapping keys, which is a nice quality of life fix. NPCs under the control spell should not die just because they jump from heights. The combat slider in custom difficulty settings now works properly too, so that should help anyone who likes tuning the challenge instead of leaving it on default. There are a few inventory and UI cleanups in here as well. If ore is placed in the action bar, it should no longer show a quantity of 0 in the inventory. Mad Core Calum's transformation transition has been fixed. Death animations in water for various creatures have been corrected, and using a teleport rune while controlling an NPC should no longer leave the player stuck if the control breaks due to distance. Mad Zardos' spawns also got a fix, so he does not end up teleporting permanently if they are killed too quickly. On consoles, the cannot save anymore message during quick saving in certain situations has been addressed. They also fixed the ideal interaction position when an NPC is standing in the way, which should make interactions feel less finicky. On PS5, the Overachiever and Map Sniffer trophies have been corrected. Swapping a ring from one slot into another should no longer duplicate stat bonuses. Guards should stop standing up during convoy if you leave the area and come back. And opening the inventory while on a ladder with a torch should no longer make you fall off. Even the Stone Golem interaction got a fix, which is a nice sign that they are sweeping up a lot of the awkward little problems instead of only focusing on the obvious ones. So overall, this hotfix is exactly the kind of patch you want to see after a rougher update. It is not trying to reinvent anything. It is just tightening up the audio, cleaning out crashes, and fixing a long list of gameplay quirks that could interrupt a run in frustrating ways. For people already playing, this should make the experience feel a lot more stable and a lot less messy, which is really the main goal here.